What is up? Episode 19 of Coaster Cafe. Who's ready? All right. Got lots of people in here waiting. That's awesome to see. Um, the rug didn't start talking this time, did it? Have to watch my back. Okay. Yes. So, as you guys know, obviously this is episode 19 of Coaster Cafe. That's pretty crazy. That means next week, episode 20, will make 5 months of Coaster Cafe. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. That's ridiculous. So, yeah. So, how is this going to work? You might ask. Well, I'm sure a lot of you awesome people know how this works because you guys are in here all the time. But for any new people out there, Coaster Cafe, I'm going to discuss what kind of coffee I'm drinking, and then we're going to talk about amusement park news, and then we're going to do 2 trivia questions, and then it's going to be a Q&A. So, let's get into it, shall we? So, what am I drinking today? You might ask. Well, thank you for asking. Coaster Daddy mug, by the way. This mug is really nice. If you want to be cool and exclusive, being like the exclusive Coaster Cafe club, get one of these Coaster Cafe mugs. Yeah. Also got these nice t-shirts. Oh yeah. Shameless plug. Go check it out. Yeah, you can find links for that on my YouTube page, Facebook page, all that stuff. So, of course, any help is greatly appreciated. All the money goes to the channel. So, it's if you feel like you want something and want to support the channel in that way, it's all good. If not, it's all good. We're just here to have fun. So, how much are what? The mugs are $12, and the classic t-shirt, which is what this is $17. So tried to keep the prices down, basically as much as I could, just so things would be as cheap for you guys, But yeah, there's some pretty nice stuff in there. I'm probably going to order some more things for myself to check them out. But yeah, I did order the t-shirt and the mug, and I'm very impressed with their quality. So there might be even more items coming in the future. So, the comfort tee, it's just made out of a different material, I guess. I mean, it's a little more expensive and it's a different material. You can read the material and stuff on the website. I haven't actually had one for myself, so I don't know how much different it feels. All right, what coffee am I drinking today? Of course, we're getting sidetracked here. Um, yeah, what am I drinking? I'm drinking one of my current favorites. I've had this on here before. I don't have any new coffee right now. This is the Atomic Coffee Roasters Rocketeer Blend. Oh man, it just smells so freaking good. I could just sit here this whole stream and smell it. I'm just gonna sit here smelling this the whole time today. Yeah, smell those beans. So good, so good. Oh. The coaster on the rug behind me, well, it looks exactly like Cedar Point's corkscrew. So I guess that. I mean, I don't know what they were actually looking at when they designed this, but all right. So yeah, Rocketeer blend by Atomic Coffee Roasters. That's some good stuff. Just random coffee I found online. I might order some new coffee here soon too. Just something random I found, but if you like coffee, I would recommend this. It's good. It's a medium roast. Yeah. The taste notes are full body, smooth chocolate, sweet spices. So, okay, Stanford Bridge says Here in New York City, Irving Farms coffee is one of the popular ones. Okay, I've never heard of that. See, now I'm curious. Like, if I would ever come across any of that, since you mentioned it, I would love to try it out. So I don't know if there's any chance I would see anything like that in Ohio. If I do, or if I'm ever out that way and I see it, I'll be sure to keep that in mind. So, Irving Farms. All right. Well, let's see. Not just any coffee smells really good, though. Some coffee does not smell very good because it's not good coffee. This smells amazing and it's very good coffee. So that's good. All right, guys, we're not doing the Q&A yet. The Q&A is going to be after we do the news and the trivia and all that. So hold your questions until then. Come on. You guys know how this works. You guys know how this works. Uh, and you do not have to apologize. Please don't stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize for being late. And don't apologize for apologizing for being late either, okay? Just you guys are not committed, this is not like it's not like you guys are obligated in any way to show up to my live streams. I appreciate that you guys want to be here. That's awesome. That's what I want. I'm glad you guys want to be here. Because we have fun here. But please don't apologize for being late to my live stream. I mean, uh all right. Well, what do we got here today? Well, I'm going to go through all the news items. There's not a whole lot of news to talk about today. A lot of it is just kind of, like general updates and stuff about the opening of parks and yada, yada, yada. So I'm just going to read everything off and then we can discuss maybe some of the more prominent news items, I suppose, if we feel like it. So what's going on? Most Pigeon Forge theaters delay reopening until June. Kennywood extends all season passes through 2021, so that's good. Lake Compounce passes are good through 2021 as well. And the construction of their Venus Vortex water slide has been delayed. It will not open until 2021 now, which makes sense. Pieces of Speed the Ride, that Premier Rides launch coaster, are still sitting in Vegas, apparently. They've been found sitting. The listing was removed from online for that online auction where they're trying to sell it for scrap or whatever. That listing's been removed. But Speed the Ride is still sitting in Vegas. So somebody comes and picks that up, that'd be awesome, and rebuild it. Hot Shot Tower Ride from Dixie Landon was shipped to Movieland Park in Italy. So that drop tower at Dixieland in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is now in Movie Park Land in Italy, and there's pictures of it there constructed. So Knott's 100th anniversary has been delayed, but Knott's Berry Tales is ready for 2020. So they opened for 2020. Knott's Berry Tales is still a go for this year. The Carowinds Parade and Night events have been delayed till 2021 as well, but the rest is still a go at Carowinds. Kings Island delays their special events. No big surprise there. So, their special things aren't happening this year. They're happening next year, basically. Apex Parks is auctioning off Big Kahuna's Water Park and Adventure Park, possibly to APX Acquisition Company LLC, which is related to Apex. It's a company related to Apex. Walt Disney World is accepting new reservations for dates starting on July 1st. So if you want to book a date for July 1st going forward, they're accepting reservations for that. I don't know if they are accepting them yet, but they will be accepting reservations for dates to book dates starting July 1st. Silverwood in Idaho is opening May 30th. That's pretty soon here. That's 2 weeks from today. Six Flags lays out rules for new reservation system. This is perhaps the most significant news on here, the Six Flags reservation system. Cedar Fair is going to do a similar thing too, by the way. They haven't announced finer details yet, though, for Cedar Fair. And lastly, Shanghai Disneyland is to increase to get the cap on capacity each week by about 5,000 people until they reach 30% capacity. So they've opened back up and have been operating at under 30% capacity. And they're going to slowly increase it until they reach 30% capacity. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. So those are all the news items for this week. What do you guys think? Meg's been in the water park besides Movieland Italy. That's awesome. Uh, yeah, I've only been on one SNS drop tower as well. Power tower at Cedar Point. So I don't really have much hope for Speed the Ride. I don't think it's being saved per se. If it does, that'd be a nice surprise, but I don't have much hope for it. It was so custom designed for that area for where it was at. Yeah, Great Adventure is opening just the safari. Thanks for pointing that out. They are doing that. Yeah, and go check out Airtime Thrills video if you haven't seen it yet. He did a video talking about the Six Flags reservation system. I could sit here and look at this article and kind of read it to you and act like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't. I've never had a Six Flags membership, so I don't know much about it. All the info I got basically is from reading stuff and from Airtime Thrills. So go check out Airtime Thrills video. Kind of detailing what we know so far about the Six Flags reservation system. Sounds pretty nice though. And Holiday World is going to be doing a virtual queue thing as well, and their system sounds great too. Like I said, Cedar Fair is going to do a reservation system as well to get into the parks. As far as I know, they haven't announced finer details of that yet. So yeah, yeah, and people are talking about all these parks that are opening back up. I purposefully left all that out of the news items because if I would have put all that in there, the whole like half the news segment would have just been this park is opening on this day. This park is opening on this day. This park is also opening on this day. So it's just like, is that really like at this point, is that really news? Like everybody's hearing about that stuff. I don't know. So I put Silverwood in there, and if there would have been other like any major American parks, I would have put them in there because pretty much everybody watching these are from the U.S. So, yeah, but yeah, there are a lot of parks that are going to be opening up soon, like in Europe. So, yeah, no, Del Grosso's is not opening for 2020 at all. They've pulled the plug on the 2020 season. So, I heard about the Indiana Beach Bricks. That's an awesome cause. If you guys don't know about the Indiana Beach Bricks, go read about it. They're doing a sort of VIP opening that's planned for June 26th. Um, and if you can afford that, I wish I could do that. I don't think I'll be able to do it. But if you guys really like, we really need to support Indiana Beach. We were so devastated about the closing of the park, and we finally got what we want, and it's been saved. So now it's time to support Indiana Beach to ensure that they can continue to operate long into the future. And there is that awesome brick campaign that they're doing, and the sort of VIP grand opening, whatever they're calling it, that's planned for June 26th, as long as that doesn't change. But it's everything sounds great. I mean, I think it's like $169 to get like where you can get a brick and be able to attend this limited type of like VIP opening experience. So it's a little pricey, but it goes towards a great cause. It'll excuse me. The proceeds from that are going to go to renovating the park and doing necessary maintenance and everything like that. It's going directly to the park. So Definitely something worth checking out, and I would recommend doing it if you're able to. So Sandblaster Curtis hit Del Grasso's only operating park at once operated Sandblaster. Other four are closed. I think you could still buy a brick even if you don't go, I believe. I'm not quite positive, but yeah, what is Sandblaster anyway? What I'm gonna look that up because I don't know what Sandblaster is. Sandblaster Del Grassos. Okay. Ah, that one. Okay, that coaster. I see. Had that car, that derailment. Yes, I remember that. All right. Okay, yeah. I see you guys now. Uh, yeah, the Florida coaster famous for the infamous accident. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. So that is Sandblaster. Yeah, I went to the RCDB page for and that must be the unknown one that was on there at Del Grasso's. 'Cause I went to the RCDB page first, and I'm like, I don't see Sandblaster, but it must be unknown. Or wait, no, that's their aerodynamics loop and corkscrew. Oh, Zyklon. Okay, it wasn't called Sandblaster. I see. I see. Okay. When this pandemic ends, I'm renting a new Honda Accord and heading to Carowinds or Cedar Point. All right, that sounds good. All right. Any other significant news items that we should talk about before going on to trivia? If not, I'm just going to move right on to trivia. So, do not apologize for being late. Please do not apologize for being late. You are not obligated to be here. I went over this earlier for anybody that wasn't here at that time earlier. So, oh, Insane Coaster Junkie is going to the beach later and blasting Trivium's in waves all the way there. Heck yeah, that sounds good, man. That sounds good. Oh, what's up, Sean? We have Sean Flaherty in here. Flaherty. Sorry, I'm probably butchering your name. Sean Flaherty. That's what I'll call you. um, yeah, you guys should go check out the last episode of the Talkin' Trimless podcast if you haven't yet. Well, there's probably one out by now because one comes out on Saturday. But the episode from last Saturday that has Sean on it, Sean's been in the experience, and that episode was really interesting. There was a lot of good information in that episode of Talking Trimless. It's probably honestly like it's probably my favorite podcast episode that I've listened to. Period. I only listen to coaster podcasts, but it's probably my single favorite podcast episode. It's really good. So definitely go check that out. And no problem, Sean. Thank you for all of that awesome information. That was a really good show. So oh, they didn't release one this week, huh? Okay. Well, anyway, it's time for trivia. Are you guys ready for trivia? I think you guys are because you guys love the trivia segment. So let me pull this up here and we shall get started. Okay, here we go. What was Thunderhawk at Dorney Park known as from opening in 1924 to 1988, and who designed it? Thunderhawk at Dorney Park went by a different name when it opened, and who designed it? Give you guys 10 more seconds to answer it. Yes, it was the coaster. It was not designed by PTC. I'm looking for a person's name. Nope. All right, guys. So obviously it was called Coaster. I'll put a link to it right here. It was designed by Herbert Paul Schmeck, who I believe did work for the Philadelphia Toboggan Company. Of course, it has PTC trains, but yes, it was designed by Herbert Paul Schmeck. So Thunderhawk at Dorney Park was known by the very imaginative name of Coaster when it opened in 1924 to 1988. So, um, yep, that's that. Now, the next one I think is something a little out there. That probably not a lot of people are going to know about, but you guys are smart, so maybe you guys will surprise me with this one. Um, so, Intamin has a small spinning family coaster model called the Twist and Turn Coaster. So, it's called the Twist and Turn Coaster by Intamin. They produce three, and they opened in 1995, 1999, and 2002. Which three parks have this model? So go. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. I'm not looking for names of the coasters. Like I said, which three parks have this model? The the Twist and Turn Coaster by Intamin. All right, our time is up. No, Kings Island and Hershey and Cedar Point do not have those. I'm gonna put a link to right here. There you go. Okay, somebody got one of them, Latte World. They probably looked it up on RCDB, but there's the RCDB link to this coaster. It's at Latte World, Latte World in South Korea, Hopi Hari in Brazil, and Lifu Village Theme Park in Taiwan. So they opened in 95, 99, and 2002. It's just a small spinning family coaster model. I didn't know about that model really that much, so kind of interesting, I guess. Nope, it's not Tornado at Bakken. I do know about that ride, and I could see why people would have thought that because it is a spinning family Intamin coaster, but it's not that model apparently. So I don't think it looks boring, honestly. I think it looks like an all right family coaster, to be honest. Nothing too crazy, but a decent family coaster. Yep, only three of them. It hasn't been built for 20 years now, so. Oh, okay. Sean rode one in Europe, but he says it was made by a different manufacturer. Do you know which manufacturer that was? Because I know there are similar rides out there to that when I was like looking at pictures of it. Yeah, everybody's talking about Tornado. I believe that's the one at Bakken. So people are talking about, isn't there one in Denmark? Yeah, it's Tornado at Bakken. So Stanford Bridge says Tornado was painful. So anybody else think it's painful if you've been on it? Yeah, I think Tornado looks awesome, honestly. I think it looks like an awesome ride. Yeah, so that was fun. Some interesting questions, I suppose. You guys know I have a hard time coming up with questions every week to do. I wouldn't say those were some of my best questions by any means, but they were all right. I mean, one was pretty common knowledge, I feel like, the Thunderhawk question, but still not too widely known. I try to think of things that aren't just like, what year did Millennium Force open? Like things like that are just those aren't fun. So, what if Steel Vengeance had double the amount of elements that it does now? It'd probably be too long then. And if it didn't have a second lift hill, it would probably valley before the end of the ride. So, because it's a very, very long, never ending coaster. So, oh, okay. Tornado is really wild, but the main drop was like karate chops to the collarbones every time. Well, that does not sound fun at all. So, coffee beans, yes. Coffee beans, yes. Oh yeah, smells so good. Smell those coffee beans. Oh, that's a good idea. Have people submit trivia questions on the Discord. The only thing is though, I know a lot of you guys are in the live stream. I wouldn't want people coming on the live stream knowing the answers and basically ruining it. Like, so if I would do that, I would trust you guys. I think you guys would be fine with that. But if I would reach out to Discord for help with coming up with awesome trivia questions, you guys aren't allowed to answer the questions. So I mean, it's just like a basic obvious rule, I think. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions in the Discord, let me know. But if I use those questions, you can't answer them, obviously. So let's see. Sean has something to say about his favorite coaster, Doda Dompa. He says the drive tire on Doda Dompa doesn't touch the train. It lowers if the ride is running slower to give it a boost. All right. Interesting. I didn't even know. Um, I didn't even know it had like a booster type launch system like that, a tire system. So spinning trains on Steel Vengeance, that sounds kind of awesome and also very terrifying. So um first B&M Floorless Medusa. Uh Launch RMC lift hill, the Steel Vengeance layout, but is dueling. That sounds pretty insane and pretty awesome. So yeah, I figure that's probably why you brought it up. I guess that person must have been referring to Doda Dompa when they talked about the tire power coaster thing. I don't know. All right. Well, we'll just open up the Q&A now. Yeah, it's Q&A. So if you have any interesting questions, go ahead and ask. Doesn't have to be coaster related, can be whatever. So, do I like seeing both a traditional hyper and a Giga at the same park, such as Orion and Diamondback at Kings Island? Yeah, I think it's great. I've been to Carowinds and they have a very traditional hyper and an amazing Giga. Um, I think it's great, and I think Kings Island is going to be. I do kind of wish Orion wasn't as focused on the airtime hills and had more elements that focus on speed like most Gigas because it would differentiate it from Diamondback a little bit more. But I'm really excited about Orion. I think it's going to be a really phenomenal ride. I think it's going to pack a punch. I love Diamondback. Diamondback is one of my all-time personal favorites. It's just like, you know how everybody has that ride that they just feel that connection to. Diamondback is one of those rides to me where for some reason it's just like one of my rides. Like I just feel such a connection to it. It's low in my top 10. It's like my number 8 or 9 favorite coaster. I think it's like number 9 right now. It's a fantastic ride. I love Diamondback, and I'm really stoked to finally ride Orion whenever that happens. So, why do people think Red Force is not a Giga? I don't know, because the enthusiast community, they like to argue and complain about everything. I'm sorry, but they like to argue about all that crap. It's like a Giga is 300 feet, but oh wait, when it comes to a launch coaster, no, we can't have that. But the Stratocoaster, that's fine. That's a launch coaster. That's 400 feet. That's a Stratocoaster. That's fine. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Which pre-drop Piper do you think is better, even though you haven't ridden either? Yeah, I have not been on Apollo's Chariot or Raging Bull. I think going with what I've heard, I'll say Apollo's Chariot's probably better. But honestly, I think Raging Bull looks really underrated. Um, I think I would really enjoy it, and I'm really looking forward to getting to Great American riding Raging Bull because I appreciate unique rides, and I like that it's a big hyper that has a really unique layout instead of you know, just a regular out and back. So, okay, Red Force is the only Giga Sean hasn't ridden. Wow. Of course, nobody's ridden Orion yet because I know somebody's going to point that out. Oh, he hasn't ridden Orion. uh, okay, so you like unique rides as well. And Sean brought up a really good point on the podcast he was on to. Enthusiasts rave about airtime, and airtime is freaking phenomenal. I mean, we all love airtime, but a coaster doesn't have to have airtime to be good. Airtime is not the only thing that makes a coaster. Like people rave about it so much, but there's so much more to coasters than airtime. So that was kind of something good he brought up. I just thought I would share it, I guess. So that's right. Can't count Orion yet. So top 3 aero coasters. My top 3 aero coasters are Magnum XL 200, Tennessee Tornado, and what's the third one? I let me check. I can't remember. Cuz probably the bat at Kings Island. I haven't been on a lot of aero coasters, a lot of great ones, I should say. Um I've been on Phantom's Revenge, but I consider that a Morgan coaster. It's mostly Morgan's creation. So, um yeah, Magnum number 1, number 2 Tennessee Tornado, and number 3 is Bat at Kings Island. So, yeah, I haven't been on a lot of amazing aero coasters. I've been on a lot of aero coasters. Yeah, absolutely. Being in floorless coasters are great. They don't have airtime. So, do I care about theming? To some extent, yeah. To me, it doesn't make or break a ride, though, typically. I'm more of like a coaster guy. But theming, I love the theming on Copperhead Strike. It was really nice touch. So, oh, too scared to ride hypers mentioned. Just realized that the coffee beans don't make the stream like the final product. Oh, no, we just made a liar out of you, I think, because it just lagged. Oh no, it's not making it lag, but the final product, it does make it lag. You might be onto something. There's nothing to say that they will. Anybody saying that, it's just purely rumor and speculation. I don't think they're removing it really soon. So what do I edit with? Adobe Premiere Pro 6. So came out in like 2012 or 2013. Um, Adobe has switched over to a subscription model. I'm never gonna do that. That is just ridiculous. I'm not gonna pay forever on a month to month basis for software. I'm not a fan of that model at all. So I'm just going to continue to use Adobe Premiere 6 for a very long time. I'm planning on using it. If I ever absolutely feel the need to update, which they don't, it doesn't change that much from update to update. If I ever feel the need to update, I'm going to switch to an amazing free software because there's a lot of good free ones out there. I actually have another one on my computer, or get a cheap one that is Air Pro 6. Sorry, I kind of went on a rant there. Yeah, Kings Island original bat. It closed after the 83 season. But yeah, they opened a new coaster in 93. During the Paramount days, a new suspended coaster was called Top Gun. And then when Cedar Fair bought the park, they named it Flight Deck. And then they named it the Bat in 2014 as a tribute to the old Bat. So they've had two suspended coasters called the Bat. The second one being much more successful than the first. So would have loved to have ridden the original though. Zero. Okay, Sean says, I was a Premiere guy for almost 20 years. I switched to Final Cut Pro X when I got Mac in 2012. Yeah, and it doesn't ultimately it doesn't really matter what you use. Whatever works for you is fine. It's all the same result as long as you can use it to edit your videos. It's all good, but I've always used Premiere just because it's what I'm familiar with. That's like the first software I familiarize myself with. I actually studied digital media arts when I was in school, so I got familiar with Premiere, and that's what I use. So, and it's a good program. I mean, it's fantastic. So, it's not without its flaws, but it's a great program. So, intensity or airtime? I guess airtime. I really love intensity too, though. So I don't know. Oh, Sean never got to ride the original Bat, but he saw it in person. That's awesome. That's awesome that you actually got to see it up close for yourself, though. Son of Beast is one coaster where I got to see it in person, but I didn't get to ride it. My parents took us to Kings Island once in 2007. We were only there for a few hours. Um, and Son of Beast was still standing at the time. That was one of the periods where it was closed, though, due to the accidents. It opened up later on, but and then 2007, of course, it didn't have the loop either. So, you started editing using tape. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Seriously, I'm sure it's a lot easier now to edit those videos, huh? What do I think would be more likely to come first? A 500-foot coaster or a strata coaster with a chain lift? 500-foot coaster, I believe. It's not going to happen for a while, I don't think, but I think eventually we'll see a 500-foot coaster, and it'll probably be Cedar Point. I mean, let's be honest. Son of Beast was very cool to look at, and that was about it. Yeah, I'm not too disappointed I didn't get to ride it. I mean, I would have liked to have ridden it just to try it out for myself, but there's a good reason it's not around anymore. That ride was one of the biggest failures. in roller coaster history. So that's why it doesn't make any sense when people are like, "Oh, they're going to bring back Son of Beast." They're not bringing back Son of Beast. Are you kidding me? That would not make any sense whatsoever. Stanford Bridge says, "What I realized I love most in a coaster: one, great drops; two, airtime; and three, uniqueness." I can get behind that because I love all those. I think great drops really impact how I look at a ride. If a ride has a really good drop, there's a much better chance that I'll enjoy that ride more. Um, Airtime, of course, is great, and I love unique coasters as well. So, Coaster Hour has ridden every coaster that he's seen that is now defunct. Well, that's awesome that you can say that. I certainly can't say that. So, oh man, you rode it hundreds of times with a loop. That doesn't sound fun. Yeah, you rode it twice without the loop, and you swore off riding it after that. That sounds pretty awful. When you swear off riding a coaster, I mean, that's when it's bad. I mean, that's when you know. Love cheese. Oh, I didn't know GCI worked on Son of Beast after the loop was removed. I did not realize that. That ride was just poorly executed from the start. I don't think anybody could have saved it. I don't know how true this is, but I've heard that Cedar Fair actually had RMC come out to look at it because this, Son of Beast was demolished in 2012, a year after the first RMC opened. Um, Supposedly Cedar Fair had RMC come out and look at it, but they said it would just need to be torn down because it was that unstable. So, like I said, I don't know how true that is exactly. Do I prefer the old over the shoulders by B&M or the newer vest restraints? The vest restraints. I actually like the vest restraints for the most part. They do get a little bit tight sometimes, but I just really love not having to worry about the head banging. Um, I think the old over the shoulders are pretty good too. They also serve their purpose well. And I guess they would be better on dive coasters. I've heard they're better on the dives. So most intense first drop I have not been on. Probably X2 or Tower of Terror at Gold Reef City. So, oh, okay. So RMC retracked that 2009. I didn't know that. Rat nothing. Roughest coaster I've ridden. Mean Streak and Raging Wolf Bobs. They're both pretty much tied for that. Villain was also really, really rough. So, oh, Sean has something interesting here. I didn't even know about this. What manufacturer was originally going to build a wooden coaster in the spot of Son of Beast? The coaster was going to be a clone of another wooden ride that still operates. I'm going to guess Den Corporation. I don't know what ride it was a clone of. Oh man, CCI, and they were going to do a near clone of Stampeda in Spain. That would have been so much better than Son of Beast. I mean, it's probably good in a way that we got Son of Beast just because, it probably led to further improvements and innovations maybe in the industry. And it was certainly a very influential ride and an icon. But yeah. Oh yeah, Din was gone in 2000. What am I thinking? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, if Kings Island had, um, a clone of Stampede, but then you think about too, if they did have something like that that was still around too today, would they have gotten Mystic Timber? So it's like, you know, yeah, Stampede looks like a fun ride. I'm looking at it again right now. That's yeah, so that opened in 97. Certainly would have been a much better ride than Son of Beast. That's for sure. It looks like Stampede looks like an okay ride. It doesn't look like Sean, have you ridden Stampede? Let us know how it is. See, Sean says the park also looked into rebuilding a very classic ride in the area where Diamondback has its splashdown. It was going to be a new version of the Rye Aeroplane. Oh man, why didn't they do that? I mean, I love Diamondback, but I want to see the Rye Airplane be rebuilt so bad. That would have been amazing. Yeah, Banshee replaced Son of Beast. Part of that land, yeah. Been on Son of Beast and Zest or Transport in person, but never rode them. Oh, you've seen them in person. Also, I went to Six Flags Great America last June, saw Max Force testing. Oh, so that sucks. You saw it testing, but you couldn't ride it. If Son of Beast was RMC, do you think that Banshee would have gone somewhere else? That would have gone. It wouldn't have gone anywhere else, or something different entirely. Oh, you're saying another area. I think they probably would have still got an invert. Probably would have been much different, but you haven't ridden Stampede. Okay. Yeah, I'd rather have the Rye Aeroplane as well, even though Diamondback is one of my favorite rides. I mean, the Rye Aeroplane, if they rebuilt that, that'd just be amazing. So get Coaster Studios to join the chat. I don't think he's gonna show up here. I don't even know if Coaster Studios knows about my channel, to be honest. Great channel, though. Great channel. Taylor is on his way to Ohio? Really? Huh. Is he's going to Ohio. That's cool. Be nice if the parks were open right now. Yeah, I really want the Rye Aeroplane back at Rye Playland as well. I made a video about that when not long after I started my channel. It was like last February 2019, because there were plans to possibly do that, but those plans apparently fell through. I just found out recently, which isn't a big surprise. Yeah, he migrates. Coaster Camp, look up Rye Airplane at Rye Playland. It's known as like basically one of the wildest coasters ever built. It was demolished in the 50s, but it's surrounded in much legend in the coaster community. Apparently, it was one of the greatest coasters ever built. So very intense layout, a figure eight layout. Where's a place I want to go, not for coasters? I think just going to Japan in general would be awesome. So I guess Japan. Best place to live in the US for coasters. To be honest, I feel like I live in a really good area because 35 minutes away from Cedar Point, Kings Island's 3.5 hours. I have tons of parks within a 7 or 8 hour drive. So this is a pretty good general area to live in, I think. Pretty much anywhere in Ohio, I feel like you have access to tons of parks. So Excuse me. Yeah, Sean's in Columbus, so he's in a great spot too for he really has a lot of parks close to him. Kings Island, Holiday World, Kentucky Kingdom. I mean, those are all within like a couple hours or so, probably. Thank you. Spent a week in Tokyo. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure that was pretty amazing. So, how many golden ticket credits have I got? I'm not sure. I don't know. Probably a decent amount. I mean, I know I have a decent amount probably because I've been to Cedar Point, Kings Island, Carowinds, Kings Dominion. So I've been to Waldemere, Kennywood. So I have a decent amount probably. Oh yeah, that's a good place to live. Coaster Hour. Yeah, definitely. I mean, California has tons of coasters. So any country I would not want to visit, I can't think of any offhand really. Would I rather go to Sweden or the Netherlands for coasters? Sweden, because they have Gronelund and Liseberg. So, and Kolmarden, of course. So, definitely Sweden. Favorite flat ride? Chaos at Waldemere. That's an amazing ride. Yeah. Well, this has been a lot of fun, guys. I think I'm going to end this episode of Coaster Cafe here. Um, I'm sure I will be doing more streams in the very near future. Of course, I've been doing quite a few of these streams because there's not a whole lot else to do right now. But I'll be working on new videos to put out fairly soon, probably in the next couple days. And I appreciate everybody for joining, Sean. It was good seeing you in here for the first time. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining, and I will see you next time. So you guys have a good day, stay safe, and stay healthy. All right.